what makes them different than other forms of minerals and why that matters in our bodies, right? What difference it really makes to us. So I'm just starting with water, and by the way, this is not a demonstration you can do at home, and I'll show you why here in a minute. But I've just got half a cup of water that I'm going to use on each side. And what we're going to start by showing is what happens with minerals in the stomach. So to do that, this is just vinegar. I'm going to add the same amount of vinegar, just a couple milliliters on each side. And the reason for that is just to add some acidity. So the stomach is obviously much more acidic than this, but this is just going to show us a point with what happens to these minerals. So now I have two different forms of copper. So on this side, we're going to add copper sulfate. This is a very common form of copper. This is what you'll find in like grocery store vitamins like Centrum, One A Day, and kind of grocery store brands. We'll let that start to dissolve. And then on this side, we're using our copper processed with Oligo. So this is the reason why you can't do this demonstration at home, because we're not shipping off the raw Oligo minerals to people. And we'll get those both stirred up. So the reason we do this demonstration with copper is because in its raw form like this, the copper has a bluish color that's going to help us see what's going on. And you can't see it very well, but we'll be able to see it better in the next step. Okay, so by having that vinegar in there, we're just showing that both of those dissolve fully with a little bit of acidity. The problem is that the stomach is not where nutrients are absorbed. Where does that nutrient absorption happen? Yep, and specifically in the small intestine. So that's where nutrition gets absorbed. So while the stomach is very acidic, the small intestine is close to pH neutral. So we want to show what happens to these two minerals as they move from the stomach into the small intestine. So that's what the baking soda is for. We're going to add some baking soda to bring the pH back up. The vinegar is acidic, the baking soda is alkaline. And that's going to bring our pH back to near neutral. So now you can see that blue color starting to come through. So as that baking soda dissolves, this is where we're going to see the first big difference between these two forms of minerals. Okay, so besides the fact that the blue are slightly different shades of blue, what's the biggest difference that you see between these two samples?
One's cloudy.
Cloudy and clear, right? So our Oligo side is very, very clear and transparent. Over here on the copper sulfate side, that baking soda did dissolve, but the solution is still cloudy. And the reason for that is because the minerals from the copper sulfate, as they move from the from the stomach into the small intestine, they begin to recrystallize. And this is what happens with other minerals as well. So that makes the minerals much more difficult for the body to absorb. If you think about it, when they recrystallize, that means that they are beginning to get bigger, to clump back together, and they have to pass through the small intestinal wall in order to get into the bloodstream. The Oligo technology protects the mineral in a way that it does not recrystallize as it moves into the small intestine. So that's why we can make this claim. We talk about our minerals being up to 10 times more available for absorption. That's exactly what this is happening right here. Okay, so you're going to get a lot more of that mineral into your body. The second thing that's going on has to do with free radicals and antioxidants. So the cheaper minerals like this copper sulfate, they have a tendency to cause free radical levels to increase. We know that free radicals are the bad guys. They're bad molecules that can cause damage. And antioxidants help to counteract the free radicals. So the Oligo technology is designed to keep the free radical levels much lower. So that means on this side we should have low free radical activity, and on the copper sulfate side we have high free radical activity. So we're going to show that actually happening by adding some antioxidant vitamin C. So this is ascorbic acid, which is just a form of vitamin C. We're going to add that into that one.
Just a little there.
And then on our copper sulfate side, we'll add same thing, some vitamin C. And we're going to see a change in the form of a chemical reaction that's starting to change the color. So you can see that happening already.
Yeah.
So that's the process of oxidation. It's the same thing that causes rust. It's the same thing that happens when you cut an apple and it starts to turn brown. The free radicals on this side are now oxidizing the vitamin C and damaging it and causing them to be kind of destroyed and used up. So that means you're going to get less of that vitamin C into your body. Whereas over on this side, there is some free radical activity, but it is so low that it is going to protect and preserve the antioxidants so that they can do their job in your body instead of being destroyed. So if you think about it, when somebody is taking a traditional multivitamin, they're taking minerals and vitamins and antioxidants at the same time. Those minerals are causing free radical levels to explode, and then it's using up and damaging the antioxidants before they've even been absorbed in the body. You can see how quickly that reaction is happening over here. With the Oligo technology, it's going to do two big things. It protects the minerals so that they don't recrystallize in the small intestine, and it's going to protect and preserve the antioxidants like vitamin C and vitamin A and vitamin E, so that you get them to do their job in your body instead of being destroyed before they've even been absorbed. Okay? So that's the two big things. One more thing that I want to make sure that you understand. The Oligo technology is a process that is designed specifically for the minerals. It isn't part of the vitamin itself, it's not part of other nutrients, but any of our products that have a mineral in them are made with that Oligo technology. So something like, where's my bottle of berberine? So berberine has chromium in it, our berberine product, and so it has the Oligo badge on there because that chromium is processed with Oligo. But a product like Florify or Provax CV, they don't have any minerals in them, so they don't have the Oligo badge on them. And some people wonder, like, why don't we have Oligo in everything? That's why, because it's just about the minerals. Okay? So that's what we call the Oligo difference, and that's why it makes a difference with your nutrition. Okay? There you go.
Thank you. That was great.
Hopefully that made sense.
Yes.